Hi there, welcome back to Tyranny. It's Judgment Day, and we are the law. And this is Span of Blood Month. Don't know what this means. What it means for us, though, is we'll leave this place. We have spoken. To Tunon. And we have gotten new quests. And we've got Lentry. He has leveled up. Let's have a look at Lentry first, and let's get the nice stuff out of the way, right? The wits, 1 point to upgrade wits to 19. Ooh, wits to 19. Is it really 1 point only? Yeah, we'll do that. We'll specialize. And really want to have more preservation. Passage of hours. Lentry surrounds the target in a bubble of slowed time, slowing their actions and movement speed. Nice debuff. Gifted Healer 3. Oh. Greatly improves control life skill. I'd like that. Moment of Peace. That would be the second thing I'd go for. Arcane Shield is also pretty good, but we'll go for that later probably. So let's go for Gifted Healer 3 for now. A pretty physical-oriented party. And Lentry is our dedicated healer at the moment. Let's look into our journal. We can go into the Maelstrom. We could go and meet Grave and Ash at Iron Hearth for the ball. We can go for the Trial of Archons. Yeah, we could collect evidence. Evidence against Grave and Ash and the Voices of Nerat. Yeah, that's something that we're going to do, by the way. Because there's suspected treachery from the Archons, and definitely from the Voices of Nerat. They're stirring visions. That was the vision we had on the spire. Yeah, that's something really fascinating. So, let's see, we could hide completed quests. Should just do that to have a better view. So we have these 3. We should probably go into the Maelstrom. But maybe there's something else to collect. Something to discover. What is this? Who is this? Welcome back, kid, Bleeden Mark says. Amusing as it would have been to watch the edict drop, I guess I'm glad you lived. Bleeden Mark is Kyros' knife in the shadows, the unseen drop of poison that enforces the Overlord's will. Reports to Tunon the Educator, serving in his capacity as the final word to those who hold Kyros' law in contempt. So the Archon of Shadow rouses from a faraway stare, turning to face you with a wry smile. Though he stands still, he seems to sift in and out of the shadows that shroud him. Aha, we've gained favor with him. Here you threw your rings on Grave and Ash's side. Not a bad bet to pick the Archon of War, but tell me the truth. Did you go with Ash because it seemed like the right thing to do, or because supporting the Voices was a worse option? Yeah, what sane creature would trust the Voices of Nerat? Really? Yeah, that is true. That is also true. That would be Archon of the Elderly, I don't know. We won't be offensive to Tunon's killer. Neither Archon was at their best, but Grave and Ash is the more capable warlord. No, I think we're definitely... We think that Grave and Ash is the better choice. And our lives depended on military success. I was not about to hand control to the Archon of Secrets. Don't trust the Voices? Looks like you do have brains. All that matters is that the Edict of Execution was stayed. Those stationed at Vendrian's Well should be thanking you for their lives. Now I assume you're off to go meet with Ash, but first you and I need to have a little chat. Alright, I'm listening. Who wouldn't listen to the killer, right? Everyone's keeping an eye on you, because you did something nobody has done before. Got a guess as to what that might be? The first one to proclaim 2 edicts, maybe? First, Fatebinder to engage in war against an ally soldier. I'm the first person to take an evasive stance against your rhetorical questions. I don't know. To awaken a spire? I'm really... I think it might be that this is a story creating question. So whatever you ask here in a rhetorical question will become reality. So what is it? What would a judge mean? What would Judge Jacob the Lord Dread mean to become after that? Do we long for promotion? Not really. We already have the authority. That is joking around. We're not that kind of character. First one to awaken a spire. First one to proclaim 2 edicts. That would be the thing a judge would be proud of. Like, we have proclaimed 2 edicts of Kyros. Smart guess, but there have been a few others over the centuries to have outlived the honor of proclamation twice. But sure, it's true that most don't survive it. Proclaiming an edict isn't new, neither is surviving or resolving the commandments of an edict, but you're the first to proclaim and resolve the very same edict. And it didn't kill you. In one fell swoop, you survived your second edict, resolved the very one you had proclaimed, and woke an arcane structure that had slept for several centuries. And now I go on your short list of people who stand out as potential problems. What? And why should I care about any of this? We're the law. I mean, we should continue to do our job. Kyros only knows if you should, but others will hear of what you've done, and they will assume it's important. They could come to see you as a rival for the Overlord's attention and seek to remedy the problem of your rising significance. Does that mean you would do that? I don't care what you do with the information, but you should know the danger you're in now, that you've put yourself on the map. Sticking with the disfavored is a smart idea, kid. At least smarter than getting mixed up with the Archon of Secrets. You'll never really be one of them, but if you value Ash's warriors, they will serve you the best they can. Well, thanks for the advice, Bladen. The Archon of Shadows shrugs to you in farewell, but his golden eyes are alight with interest as he watches you. A creepy conversation. And now? How about a little breathing room, kid? Yeah, let's find that breathing room over here. And we should leave Tunon's Court. Cannot go anywhere else. Oh, we are here. We should visit the Sunset Spire, definitely. The Mountain Spire is what we have claimed. There's Cacophony, Burning Library entrance. There's Iron Hearth. We could travel, but that's far away. That's where Graven Ash is at the moment. So this has just popped up here, so I'd say we go to Sunset Spire because it's very close. See again. Yeah. Lithian's Crossing. How can we... Yeah, built in the shadow of an old walled junction in the realm of Haven Lithian's Crossing is a growing trading settlement. The nearby rivers are rich in iron ore, though the locals lack the technology to smelt and forge the element. In the years following Kyros' conquest of the Tiers, the population of Lithian's Crossing swelled with refugees, fleeing the destruction of their homelands. Presence of the forge-bound mining the iron, along with their guards, makes this makeshift settlement a vital resource for Kyros' armies. In the year 429, as governor of Lithian's Crossing in Kyros' name, you granted control to the settlement to the disfavored. And this is where they get their iron. Let's see what's going on there. Ambush. Group of mercenaries, members of the Bronze Brotherhood, are blocking the road to Lithian's Crossing. Hey there, Bronze Brotherhood. I like the ambushes. I'd like to know if they are really random, but they should be, probably. Huh. I'm sorry, I just needed a sip of tea for my voice. Let's find out what's going on here.
On the lookout.
We're on the lookout. How? Where? What? I can hear water.
Sorry, can't.
There's something up here. That's a camp. There's a raider. We should probably storm this. But let's look at everything. I think I've said that often enough. Not often enough for me. The game looks so good. It has somehow a mixture of cold and warmth. Must be joking. A toll? I'll pay no such thing. I demand to be let through. So no one passes without paying. And these are raiders, right? Maybe we can change something here. Aster. A small figure stands before some armor-clad soldiers. Maybe we can help this guy and he'll pay us. Because it doesn't seem right what is done here. It's an ambush, and it's not an ambush of Kyros' law. His arms move wildly as he gestures in frustration, yelling at the man directly in front of him. Absolutely not. I've come through Ironhold Trail more times than I can remember. No one ever asked for a toll before, and I won't be paying one now. He notices you standing nearby and turns to speak. Fatebinder. Surely you of all people can help me. My name is Aster, and I must get to Lithian's Crossing. I have goods to deliver. Tell this man I will not be paying a toll to him or anyone, and he's to let me through. He folds his arms over his chest and nods with a pronounced finality. Greetings, Fatebinder. I'm sorry you've been drawn into this. What you've stumbled into here is merely a conflict of the changing times. I am Will of the Bronze Brotherhood. Ironhold Trail is under our protection, and anyone passing through must obey our rules. If this gentleman would like passage through our land, a simple donation is required. He holds out his hand. These funds help our cause and keep Ironhold a safe place for all travelers. Clearly, you both can see the value in that. Aster speaks, his arms swinging about again, emphasizing his words. And who exactly is keeping it safe? You standing there with your weapons at the ready against me? His arms drop and he turns to you again. I am naught but a traveling merchant. I have no money to spare, and I certainly pose no threat to anyone. Keep this area safe indeed, he points at Will. You are the only threat here. So, we should do the best for Kyros. What does that mean? I mean, these guys have volunteered to guard the area, but they're collecting tolls, something only Kyros is allowed to do. The Bronze Brotherhood. We should be able to ask for a license. Huh. And we will be asked to pay the toll as well, probably. On the other hand, it's 50 rings. Is that much? Nah, it's nothing, probably. But it's about principle. Yeah, we're going on the principle here. This man will not be paying a toll today. Call your guards off and allow us passage immediately. Thank you, Fatebinder. You have done a great deal of good today. As the bro bows dramatically, he turns back to the soldier. And you, brute, move aside and let me pass. Will holds his position and gives you a meaningful look. Perhaps you want to consider your stance on the matter, Fatebinder. Plants his hammer on the ground and leans on it, staring Aster down. Passage is bought with rings or blood, but I will happily take both. So they are threatening a Fatebinder. I stand by my decision. This is a law. Aster raises his hands in protest. I thank you for your efforts, Fatebinder, but it is not worth bloodshed. I will leave in peace. What a wimp. Will returns to his position and looks you over, his former genial mood gone. So a Fatebinder in our little corner of the world. Who'd have ever thought this would happen? Spits between his feet, then crushes it into the dirt with his boot. You are walking a dangerous line, Fatebinder. The Bronze Brotherhood never back down from threats. Pauses for a moment, sizing you up. And what are they? They are a mercenary company from the Free Cities dotting the Tyr's southern coast. Many of these mercenary companies were employed by Kyros' agents and slaughtered during the war. Bronze Brotherhood survived thanks to their relatively safe posting Lithian's Crossing, where the voices of Nerad hired the company to help protect the town's forge operation. Among the most trained and dedicated warriors of the Tyrs, the Bronze Brotherhood have a reputation for ruthlessness and tenacity. Aggression and decisive thinking are so highly prized by the Brotherhood that the violent, enigmatic Scourge is the group's mascot, a creature most decent folk consider the stuff of nightmares. The term brother is used for mercenaries of both genders, as the company's title harkens back to the archaic notion of living as men. In Tyr's custom, this amounts to releasing all claims to lands, to better assure an employer that the Brotherhood won't covet the realms they are paid to protect. Aha. Normally I'd knock you down where you stand for threatening me, but Ray Tommen demanded to see you if you came through here. I thought he was crazy, saying you'd be visiting Lithian's Crossing. Looks like I owe him a few rings. Shakes the pouch around his neck, making the rings inside jingle melodically. Not that there's a shortage of those out there. What can this humble servant of the Brotherhood do for you, Fatebinder? And don't ask me to let you through, because that isn't happening. Barrick's Loyalty 1. This ridiculous piece of mercenary offal requires a lesson in pain and obedience. Allow me to teach him. Will we allow Barrick? We'd be tempted to. I mean, it would be good for his loyalty. On the other hand, we are the law. So, we can allow him to teach the offal. And we'll help him. If you think you can get him to move, do it. Sellsword, attend me. I take your responsibilities have been explained to you. Keep the rabble on this side of the bridge. Yes, that does not preclude taking orders from your betters. One of two things will happen. Either you will let us pass, or we will simply pass. There are no other options. Whatever role you have taken upon yourself to bar our way has already failed. You succeed only in delaying our task and annoying me. Is your name Ray Tommen? Are you the leader of the Bronze Brotherhood? Says Will. He cups his ear to listen. No? I didn't think so. Because he decides who crosses, he decides, and who doesn't. If you have a problem with that, take it up with him. Ash, forgive me, but I can only endure so much of this fool's inane jabbering, Barrick says. A blur of rusted metal precedes a deafening crunch as Barrick backhands the mercenary, leaving a significant mark behind. Will rubs his cheek. Hold on. I'm just doing my job. I apologize if I offended. Ritomon will have my head if I let you through. There's nothing I can do about it. Well? While you are talking to Will, a striking man with a shock of bright blonde hair approaches, moving away from some men searching bodies of slain soldiers to the south. He watches you intently as he closes, his angular features pulling into a look of disdain. And there's the Fatebinder. He doesn't mask the displeasure in his voice. I knew we'd sue you. I was just wondering when. One trip to Lethian's Crossing wasn't enough, Governor. He doesn't even mask the contempt in his voice. You had to return when no one asked you to come. Throwing me out of my home wasn't sufficient. Are you here to disrupt my life some more? He looks at his men, who stop to watch the conversation. You aren't done. He flicks his hand at them, and they return to their searching. Doesn't really matter why you're here. I don't care. I have more important things to worry about. In case you've forgotten me already, my name is Ritomon. I'm First Brother, leader of the Bronze Brotherhood. But I'm sure you already know that. I couldn't help but see you over here, talking to Will and the traveling merchant, only here for a moment, and already sticking your nose where it doesn't belong, aren't you? I don't appreciate others invading my territory, Fatebinder. Told him he had to speak to you, Ritomon. He wanted through, but I told him no. If you don't give me the signal, the Fatebinder isn't getting into Lethian's Crossing. No one will invade our territory, your territory. Ritomon stares at Will for a few moments, lips pursed, then continues as if Will never spoke. Watch yourself. While you are a guest in my land, if you have come to stir up more trouble, we are well equipped and will not go back down in the defense of what is rightfully ours. He sweeps his arm in front of him, gesturing to the surrounding countryside. Welby and I might not always agree, but that is one point we see eye to eye on. Now, if you step out of line, we will both correct you. Ritomon's eyes narrow and he leans toward you. You are not welcome here. Now tell me what you want or leave. First tell me about Welby. Shoots a look to the north. I had such high hopes for her as my first axe. The continued success of the Brotherhood should be the single most important goal for anyone who is a member. She seems to have forgotten her place. She is not the head of this band. I am. She doesn't stop overreaching. I'll have to replace her with someone who knows how to obey. So why are you charging travelers to a toll to get through Ironhole Trail? I don't see how the affairs of the Brotherhood are your business, Fatebinder. Suffice it to say, funds we receive from our tolls help us keep the lands around Lethian's Crossing safe. We are owed our dues, and we shall have them. Why is the crossing so important to the Bronze Brotherhood? We were asked to do the job and we did it. Then what happens? You throw us out of our home. He makes an emphatic gesture to the north, toward Lethian's Crossing. By all rights, that city is ours, and suddenly Kyros wants it. Well, I intend to get it back. I refuse to let this matter die. We protected the crossing for years, and even ensured Kyros' forces could do business here when Narat asked us to. No, we did the job we were asked, and this land belongs to us. Yeah, just what we were thinking. These guys want to take the land back from Kyros. Tell me about the Bronze Brotherhood. We are a humble group, with noble, long-held traditions on the side of right and honor. Ray Tommen's voice fills with pride. If there is an injustice that needs to be rectified, we are called. Sounds like you're upstanding citizens. That was ironic, but they are taking it like that. Yes, we are, Fatebinder. Ray Tommen's face breaks into a giant smile. I am glad someone finally sees us for what we are. I'm tired of people calling us mercenaries and sellswords. So we get paid for what we do. We need to live. Well, you said you don't do it for the money, but that's why you're fighting over Lethean's Crossing. I don't appreciate your tone or the implications of what you're saying, Fatebinder. Ray Tommen's eyes are hard and his voice is flat. This is a mere matter of principle. We performed a service and we were paid for that service. Don't try to glibly explain away a complex situation. This is our home. This is my home. I will have it, no one else. Now, if all you came here to do is insult me and mine, I would suggest you leave. You would do well to watch your tone when speaking to a Fatebinder. Ray Tommen laughs hollowly. I care not about Kyros' forces. I've already reaped the rewards of my loyalty, and I will not make that mistake again. You have taken my home, but I'll have it back. I won't cower when you raise your voice against me, lapdog. Oh, this guy. I'm not welcome in your land. This is not your land anymore. Such arrogance is the precursor to a mighty fall, Fatebinder. I might not currently have control of Lethean's Crossing, but we both know possessions are fleeting. Lethean's Crossing is my home, and your imagined control over our lives doesn't change that fact. Well, I need to get to Lethean's Crossing. Ray Tommen looks at you with an incredulous expression. Absolutely not. You must be crazy if you think I'm letting a disfavored sympathizer through to consort with my enemies. Who knows what plans you would make to undermine my authority. Crosses his arms over his chest. You have some nerve, Fatebinder. First you have me thrown from my home, and now you want back in, so you can come up with an even worse punishment. Let's prepare for a battle, but next time, not now. Let's talk about something else. We'll speak again soon. I certainly hope that isn't the case. In the next episode, we'll probably go for a conflict, because these guys are taking, or they want to possess, what is Kyros' and not theirs. So it's Judgment Day. Even when it's Farmer's Day, it's Judgment Day for us, and we are the law. Happy gaming to you, and see you in the next episode of Let's Play Tyranny on Hard. This is Immanuel signing out, wishing you happy gaming.